fans, Joe, Motion Videos 82 here. It is time for another G.I. Joe toy review. I apologize for this getting out late. I had one completely shot and ready to go, and as I was uploading it, I got a corrupt message saying that the file was corrupted somehow. So I apologize for the tardiness of this video. But last week we took a look at Destro version 1. Obviously a very popular figure. Byron's Gripes, that segment took up a whole page of prices. Some were very good, others were outlandish. And I want to thank my friend Vinny for clearing up something for me. I had a question regarding the dark colored chest on Destro, because he did have a variant, one that came with a date stamp on the inside of the left thigh and the other one didn't have a date stamp. Well, the one with the date stamp, his paint scheme is darker, and I thought maybe it had been bleached by the sun or just yellowing or whatnot. But he pointed out that the one with the stamp is obviously darker, and he gave me an example, sent me a picture via email of 3 that he had of the dark chest and 3 of the light chested ones. So thank you very much, Vinny. That was really cool of you. I learned something new and I really appreciate it. So if any of you are wanting to send me an email so we can chat or whatnot, more than happy to talk to you guys. My email address will be right down at the bottom, bookineer74@gmail.com. So the Baroness is who we'll be looking at today. How could I look at Destro and not bring in the Baroness the following week? It would be sacrilege if I didn't. They were both highly portrayed throughout the comics and the Sunbow series, as well as Deke. But the Baroness first made her comic book appearance. I can't remember the month of the issue, but it was the Order of Battle where she first appeared, and she made her first appearance in the Sunbow series in the 5-part miniseries, The Weather Dominator. But she showed up in a light blue uniform, had a yellow pad on her right shoulder that was for shooting, something that sportsmen have, and her glasses were a green tint. And then the following 5-part miniseries, she was in her black uniform. So the Baroness was released in 1983 as a part of the 3rd series, or 1984, pardon me, as a part of the 3rd series. She was on the pegs until 86 when she was discontinued, but she was available through Hasbro Direct. How long was she with Hasbro Direct? I don't know. But she came bagged with a red back file card, and let me pull that picture up for you. The reason behind the red back file cards is to show that it was an exclusive of some sort, either a Sears exclusive or Hasbro Direct. And I'll discuss that more in Byron's Gripes. So the Baroness was also sold in Europe and India. Her code name in India was Red Knock. She was in a red uniform. Very cool looking. I wish I had it, so let me pull that up for you as well. But I added another picture of a carded US release or North American release for you as well, just for the fun of it. But I watched a very interesting podcast last week it was on the Action Force brand. Why was it called Action Force and not G.I. Joe? For one reason, and this was what the viewer or the man hosting the podcast mentioned. He was from England. He said G.I. Joe was too American, and I agree with him. The term G.I. Joe was first coined by the late battlefield correspondent Ernie Pyle. He was killed in action during World War II, but he called the American troops G.I. Joe because they were GIs, they were the average Joe, the grunts, and that's how the name came about, and it stuck, and thank you very much, Mr. Pyle. That is the reason why Action Force brand came about for Europe. It was taken from Action Man, and they just stuck Force on the end of it. So they had the Action Force brand, and we're getting the same figures as we did. India, of course, got the different colored figures, which are just simply awesome. So anyway, sidetracking there with that neat little piece of history, the Baroness originally retailed for $2.25, and you'll never see that again for a carded figure. This Baroness that I'll be showing today was mine from my childhood. I found her on the ground when I was like 13 or 14. I was just walking down the street, found her laying there on the side of the road in the dust. She was missing her left arm. She was busted up, the crotch was broken off, and the O-ring was gone, but still had most of the parts there, so I picked her up. And I replaced her arm with an arm from a Leonard figure, and I just painted his hand black. So that is my only real childhood story of the Baroness. Didn't play with her when I was younger, when she was released. My friend John had her, but he had her up in Colorado at his dad's house. So I never had any real playtime with her. After I fixed her up, I just threw her in a box and let my brother play with them. But I did have her nonetheless, and that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and take a look at this action figure. Alright, here she is, the Baroness. I apologize for the background noise. I have a fan going. It's very hot back here in this room. Even though the weather is very nice, it's still hot. So the Baroness, as you can see, is a very key figure in the Cobra Command structure. Where does she fall in the structure? In my opinion, right after Destro. The Cobra Commander, Destro, then the Baroness. So, but being a very skilled and intelligent woman, she plays both sides against the middle. And that is pretty cool. She thinks she likes to just see Cobra Commander get riled up. But there was something I had mentioned last week about Destro not having a Cobra insignia. And why? Well, because he's just a weapons supplier. And I called him a mercenary, but Theygone made a very interesting point. He said he's more like a profiteer. And a profiteer is a person who makes money off of a wartime situation or a bad situation. Let's say in a flood situation here in the States, people were selling bottled water by the case for upwards of $50 a case. That's profiteering, and it's pure douchebaggery. Pardon the French. That was just pretty sick of those people doing that. We need to share and help each other in situations like that. So, I mentioned the Baroness having a red sigil on her chest, and if she's an officer, why not silver? The answer came today. Cobra Commander has a red sigil, but his uniforms stand out. You know he's the commander, either in his battle uniform with a light blue or his more ceremonial and a dark cobra blue. The Baroness stands out because she is clad in black. That's the epiphany. So let's take a look at her accessories. She came with what was called a high-density laser rifle, and I must add, she is the only female character that actually came with a gun. Her polar opposite, Scarlet, as we know, came with a crossbow. Then later on, Lady J came with a javelin launcher. This is a very nice looking weapon, has a scope, very futuristic looking, could serve as a sniper rifle. She came with this backpack, which I feel is really unnecessary. She just needs the rifle and she could get away with it, but the backpack is nicely sculpted with that Cobra logo. Excellent backpack, one of my favorites. And just to show you the arm that I used, it worked in a pinch, and at a glance you couldn't tell that it wasn't her arm, but you see where I painted the hand from a flesh tone into a black. Wasn't swivel arm. I don't think Leonard had swivel arm back then, so it worked. Looking at the Baroness, very cool uniform. People call this a dominatrix uniform. I want to stay clear of that. I don't really like that term, but that's what it looks like. She is wearing a bulletproof vest. Goes all the way around the back. You can see the straps there on the front, and underneath the vest you could see where she has her uniform buttoned up. Great sculpting all over this figure. She has, I don't know if it shows up, but she has Cobra insignias on both of her gloves. There we go. Both of her gloves. Thigh-high boots and a pistol sculpted on. Very nice detail on her. Her hair was actually a separate piece made out of a soft plastic. Pretty decent looking face. Feminine face, definitely. And she has her signature glasses. So let's go ahead and take a look at her file card. Reads Cobra Intelligence Officer, codename Baroness. Later, from the G.I. Joe movie, we found out her name was Anna de Cobray. Her primary military specialty is intelligence. Secondary specialty is fixed wing pilot. Her birthplace is classified. In the cartoon, she is portrayed as having a Eastern European accent, so that kind of gives an idea of where she may have been born. But the middle paragraph reads, the spoiled offspring of wealthy European aristocrats, the Baroness graduated from student radicalism into international terrorism, and finally into the ranks of Cobra. How she got up there, I would like to know. She was severely burned during a Cobra night attack operation, and she had extensive plastic surgery. And that was really portrayed deeply into the comics. Rumor has it that she's the only one who knows Destro's secret identity. She's a qualified expert in the M16, AK-47, RPG-7, Uzi, and a HISS tank operator. Bottom paragraph. Her principal weakness is the division of her loyalty between Cobra Commander and Destro. Her chief strength would seem to be to lie in her ability to play them against each other. And that was portrayed in the cartoon pretty well. She's torn between two very powerful emotions, love and loyalty. She was in love with Destro, but fiercely loyal to Cobra Commander. So I could see how that would create a turmoil in her life. But it was also portrayed in the comics that she knew the identity of Cobra Commander. After he got whacked out by Fred 7, Fred 7 took over and donned the battle armor in '87. And in the comic, when he showed up, people told the Baroness, we need to know if this is the real Cobra Commander. You are the only one that knows what his face looks like. So she pulls Fred 7 into a tank. He takes off his helmet thinking, my gosh, this is the end. I'm going to get greased. She said, let's work with this. I'll pretend you're Cobra Commander. So again, she was maintaining the structure of Cobra and being loyal to Cobra Commander and Destro, as well as Serpentor at that time. Alright, so there she is. The file card is very well written. It doesn't, give something silly like, Dusty being a refrigerator repairman, that's why he works in the desert kind of scenario. This is a very intelligent, no pun intended, file card. Very well written, beautiful file card. See, it's cut off the card back. But this is one of my more favorite file cards. And I really loved these as a kid. I had them cut out and I had them stapled up on the wall by my bed. And those brought, sorry, the wind is blowing very heavily right now. The file cards brought the characters to life for me, more so than the cartoon, is it gave them personality, and that I really appreciate and really love. So even to this day, when I get a file card, I read it right away and hey, this character, he's pretty cool. So just that childhood memory coming up again, and the nostalgia. So here we go. Time for my favorite segment, Byron's Gripes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Boy, do I have something to gripe about today. The list isn't as long as Destro's. This is about a paragraph. And I needed something heavier today. Drinking Pepsi Zero. Wanted to stay away from the foo-foo orange Coke. See that? Drove me to drink a Pepsi. I don't drink alcohol, so I have to make those puns with soda. So, if you're looking for a complete Baroness with her file card, she is $34.99, deal of the day. Deal of the day with that one, and you'll see as we're going down the list why. To $45. $45. Were you hitting the head with a softball, Mr. $45? You? Don't want to single you out, but that is ridiculous. And for those of you just joining, the reason why I do Byron's Gripes is to give new collectors an idea of what price range to look for and what to expect. What is a good deal, what is a bad deal. I'm a tightwad when it comes to myself, buying these toys for myself. So if I say it's a good deal, it's it's a pretty good deal. Not meaning that I'm the expert. To me, it's a good deal. When it comes to helping other people, I'm more generous with money. So I only use eBay because it's the most popular site. I'm sure there are other sites out there that are cheaper. Always shop local. Go to your local vintage toy store and shop there. Ask them to start stocking G.I. Joe comics. Let's give Larry Hama a hand. Let him know that he's loved. But when you shop local, that money goes right into your state. When you buy online, that money goes into other people's. The taxes or whatnot go into that state. So, with eBay, as we know, the prices are just insane. Right now, we're at the top of the bubble when it comes to pricing. 10 years ago, we started off here, and it stayed pretty steady as far as low prices. And then the popularity started coming back, and then boom, we're at the peak right now. So what I'm hoping is that these prices are going to get so heavy that it's going to collapse the bubble, and we'll start going into a decline in prices, and that will make it much nicer for the individual who isn't from an affluent household, who can't really afford to spend $90 on an action figure or a vehicle. These prices stay high, in my opinion, because of the people with deeper pockets. They're the more affluent individuals, the people who own a small business, the toy dealers. These people have a liquid income that they invest into their business, and there's nothing wrong with that. I promote small business. I love small business. That's what this country, well, every country was built on, was small business. So I just gripe about these prices, hoping that people will clean the wax out of their ears and start listening to lower these prices, so you and I, the average Joe, can buy these action figures and share them with our family, share them with our kids, and have a hobby that's constructive. So, carrying on. You want an incomplete Baroness. She just comes with a battlefield accessory rifle, which is red. There was another one that came out, which was a off-white, like the color of Dr. Mindbender's pistol. $21 to $39.95. $39.95, you bonehead. Really? You're not sitting on a gold mine at all. Okay? She's common. $39.95 for that? She doesn't have accessories or a file card? Yeah, get out of here. But there is a Japanese Baroness out there on a Japanese card back, $165. Beautiful price. Deal of the day again. So we have two deal of the day. $165. I've seen, and I kid you not, Japanese releases sell at auction for $500, and that was for a Snake Eyes. Now, I want to just give people a heads up with the card backs. So far, I don't know of any people who are reproducing the Japanese file cards or card backs, but here in the States, North America, we have people, they're doing a beautiful job. Now, I'm not saying anything wrong with this. There isn't anything wrong. They are reproducing the vintage file cards, and they are beautiful. And it's giving people a chance to have a carded figure, but not at such a higher price. But my concern is somebody buys one of those reproductions thinking that it's vintage and selling it at a vintage price. So anytime you see a carded figure, just from my experience buying online, things you need to look out for: wear. Check the corners, check for any wrinkles, dents, dings, any tears. Those good sign of a vintage. uh, big clue is a price tag. Collectors did not peel price tags off in fear of tearing the card back. So those are things you need to look out for. Also look out for the bubbles. I mean, some of them are yellow. That's a good sign. Some of the bubbles are dented, cracked, or whatnot. So always study the pictures, read the description, ask questions. That will help you keep from getting burned. I'm speaking from experience. Okay, I don't want you guys to get burned. I've been burned enough for everybody. So that's another reason why I'm doing Byron's Gripes, to help you guys with the prices, because I was paying outlandish prices at one time and found out they were cheaper somewhere else, and I just kicked myself in the butt. So, onward and upwards. There is a complete Baroness, no file card, 32 Fazuls, 32 bucks. No. If you already have the file card, cool. That's an alright price. But you'll see why I'm getting there in a minute. Her backpack, $4 to $7.49. Really? $7.49? No, sir. Come on. If you're going to buy that for $7.49, haggle with the seller. Make them an offer. Even if they don't have an or better offer, send them an email. Say, hey, you know, could you go down on the price a little bit? And they'll work with you, hopefully. There is a pair of legs out there. $8.99. Not bad. That's a very good price. They're good looking. Yeah, of course, Baroness is good looking legs. But the heels aren't cracked or anything. The joints are tight. Very nice. Her file card. I only found one file card that was cut from the card back. $4.75. So if you buy the $32 complete Baroness and add the $4.75 to it, you're looking at $36.75, not including shipping on both of those. So it would be cheaper to buy the $34.99. So you're saving $2.74 by buying the $34.99. That's why that was the deal of the day. Plus, you know, you add shipping, so it'll be cheaper. You'll save a lot more money doing that. Her left arm, $8.99. I searched for months for her left arm. Couldn't find it. Finally, when I bought it at that price, it was probably from the same seller, $8.99. I'm seeing them everywhere now. It's like the case when you're looking for a girlfriend, you couldn't get one, but when you finally get a girlfriend, the women come out of the woodwork. Same, or even a boyfriend. For the ladies out there who, you know what I'm talking about. You just can't find anybody. Then when you finally find someone, everybody comes out and it's like, okay, maybe this person is decent. It's a phenomenon that happens. It's been proven through psychology. It's science. We have a bigger brain. Anyway, carded. Oh. Kellogge, take me away. Well, that is because how drunk I am. She wants carded action figure? You want the carded action figure? It's the same dude from last week that was selling the $1,000 carded Destro. You and I are going to have some words, mister. Well, I'm going to get my big brother after you. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Oh, I'll fight to defend my family. Ready for this? $899.99. I never mentioned shipping. I shouldn't say never, I hardly ever mention shipping unless it is so ridiculous, so stupid. I lost even more hair off of this one. I kid you not, brothers, sisters, my friends. Ready for the shipping? $31.80. You greedy individual. Did you happen to find a specific one buried on Oak Island in the treasure vault next to Shakespeare's works in the Holy Grail? $8.99. Come down on your prices. My goodness. When you ship an action figure, it doesn't cost $31.80. Case in point, when I shipped one of these out to JoeFan82, he won my 250 subscriber drawing. It cost me $14 and change. That is much heavier than an action figure. Why? If he's insuring it for a little bit more, every parcel you ship is insured up to $500 automatically. So is he buying extra insurance? And if he is, that's great. Thank you. But you're already making a ton of money off of this action figure. Why not sell it for the standard shipping rate, with the standard shipping rate, instead of getting bloody greedy? And this is shipping from the United States. So this, you're not buying from somebody outside of the country. Now, if this individual was shipping to somewhere else around the world, shipping will be a little more expensive, and is he factoring that in? I don't know, but that is just insane. It really is. It is insane. And that does make me mad. I mean, that's highway robbery. You're taking advantage of people. I don't like that. That's just greed. It is greed. So, if you want a complete Baroness with a full file card or full card back, $65 to $112. Was the umbilical cord wrapped around your neck when you were born? Were you shot in the head with a BB gun? What? That's nuts. Her gun, $10.14. No. And they're selling the backpack cheaper, $6.14 cheaper. You find more backpacks, or find more guns than you do the backpack. Backpacks weren't played with that much, and they got lost. The gun was played with. And that's just speaking from experience. So they got lost. That's ridiculous. Now, you want an uncut Hasbro file card, Sears exclusive. Well, the individual was selling it as a Sears exclusive. Sorry. But it's not. It was Sears JCPenney question mark, so he's not sure what it come from. And I wasn't going to send him an email and say, hey, you know, this is actually, you know, a direct Hasbro direct. I'm not like that, because it irritates me when people come up and correct something that I'm doing. Well, not all the time. if I'm wrong, I'll be grateful for it. But usually they come up with that attitude like I know more than you. And it's just a feeling I get. When they get that, I pick up that attitude from them when I feel it. That's when it irritates me. But if somebody corrects me, if I say something wrong or make a mistake, feel free to correct me, please. If I do that on these reviews, feel free. I won't get upset with you. Because this is still a learning process, and we're all learning. That's what this channel's about. It's educational, it's fun. It's like Sesame Street for G.I. Joe. I'm teaching you, you're teaching me. You know, going back to my buddy Vinny and Theygone, they both taught me a little something about it, and yes, I love it. Anything I can learn about G.I. Joe, I will suck it up and just like a sponge, and yes, thank you. So I won't correct another individual because I don't know how they'll react when it comes to stuff like this. In a work setting, it's different. You know, it could cost somebody their life with the job that I do if a mistake is made and it's not corrected. So the file card was the red back from Hasbro Direct, and it was uncut, which is cool. The reason why it's uncut, because it has a little white piece that goes across the top here that has the dotted lines. It has the manufacturer's information, the trademark, such and such. It also has a flag point, so it's made to be cut off for the flag point. And the uncut ones are a little more valuable. And this is a fair price. This is the first time I've seen a Hasbro Direct Baroness come up. In fact, today I didn't even know there was a Hasbro Direct Baroness until I wrote up this review. $254.09. I say that is a very fair price if you're a variant collector on file cards. I'm not. If I happen to get one, I get one, but I don't chase down variants on file cards. So that is it, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this. I certainly enjoyed it. This was fun, educational, and I want to thank Vinny and Theygone again for their contribution to last week's video. That is awesome. Thank you guys very much. Also, you know, send me an email. You know, Buccaneer74. I'll have it down here again. I'd love to hear from you guys. Leave me a comment. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Thumbs down if you don't. It's all constructive criticism. It lets YouTube know that my channel is being watched. Also, if you want to become a channel supporter, leave me a tip on coffee. I'll have the information right down in the description right in here. See that little arrow? It'll be here on the right corner of your screen. You click that down arrow and the description will pop up. Yeah, I have my information down there. And channel supporters will have their own drawing, as well as everybody else who is a subscriber is eligible. You are all eligible for drawings, but you know, the channel supporters will have their own drawing. It doesn't mean you're getting a better toy or prize. It just gives them a chance. It's my way of saying thank you. So you guys are great. Thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe to the channel. When I reach 500, I'll hold a drawing for everybody. And follow me on Twitter. I'm out there on Twitter at JoeMotionVideos82. That's it. Don't forget to be kind to everybody. You don't know what kind of day those people are having, and just a simple gesture can make their day. And also be kind to animals. They are innocent and they have nothing but unconditional love, so be kind. Just plain and simple. Just be kind to everybody. And this is Joe Motion Videos 82 signing off. You guys have a fabulous day. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Show's over. See, I don't have anything left. Have a good night. Say hi to your families for me. It's cold. Go on. Yeah, just, I don't have anything left, guys. What? What?
Want to know what next week's? No, you don't need to know what next week's review is. I don't even know what next week's review is. See ya.